Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Naruto Shippuden episode 81, I think. What happened last time?
Last time was a really sad episode. Asuma died, and the whole episode was pretty much him dying and saying goodbye to everyone. So, yeah.
Gonna see how that affects the future of these episodes. New binge session. And ready to get into this. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe. If you just can't wait for next episode to come out on YouTube, you can check out patreon.com/boldcast, which is in the description. Hope you check that out and support the official release. Netflix, Crunchyroll, do what you gotta do. And come here to hear what we have to say, not just to rewatch the show. We're not providing this as a substitute to watching on legal channels. We're providing this as a way for you to hear what we have to say. With all that said, let's go. You like this intro so far?
I do.
I just wish we could have watched it from the beginning, but it's way too spoilery.
There's a nice effect of the flower petals turning into the little pink thing.
If I only focus on the Rascal, I mess up the change in chakra nature. But if I concentrate too much on that, my Rascal doesn't turn out right.
Yeah, he's already working at like a huge handicap just for the Rasengan. The fourth Hokage was sitting there like, I can make a Rasengan in one hand with no other difficulties. And I just can't figure it out. Naruto's like, alright, well, fucking...
Such high hopes for me, but it turns out I'm a complete failure.
Aw.
What should we do? You think we should stop the training?
Well, if that's what he wants to do.
That was a cool effect on the headband. Is he drowning in the rain?
More time to waste! Shadow Clone Jutsu! Careful, you guys! We got another one turning into the next.
Holy shit. Captain Yamato, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Here it comes. It's like halfway the nine-tailed fox already. It's huge.
You okay?
It's really crazy that even just a shadow clone can just do that on its own.
Yeah.
It's been one full day since we started trying to add the wind change in nature to the Rasengan. And you're using 200 shadow clones now. You've just achieved what the average ninja would take 4,800 hours to do. But I guess that's still not enough for you.
This training's impossible. I can't wrap my head around the chakra control technique, and it feels like 200 shadow clones is my limit. No way. I'm never gonna be able to master it. It takes all my concentration to form the basic Rasengan in the first place. Adding a change in nature to that, it's just too much.
You're unusually negative. That's not like you. You don't sound like the Naruto Uzumaki I know.
He's not believing it anymore.
Oh, sorry.
That's pretty cool.
So, how's Naruto's training?
Learning to add a change in chakra nature to the Rasengan is harder than he thought. And mastering difficult skills has never been Naruto's strong suit.
Well, that's why Kakashi-sensei is having him learn the technique through action, right?
Yeah, training only Naruto can do. They can double the amount of training he gets by using 2 clones, and he's using 200. Incorporating a change in chakra nature into a jutsu by itself is a difficult enough hurdle to get over, to say nothing of the fact that the Rasengan was a jutsu invented by the 4th Hokage. Try and into it now, especially for someone like Naruto, may be impossible.
You have a point. Naruto is an idiot. He's a clumsy, tactless fool. For him to perfect something as intricate as a modification of the Rasengan, you know as well as I, he can't do it. And yet Kakashi-sensei and Captain Yamato have been sticking it out with him all this time. Meanwhile, the village is forming platoons to fend off
All
the
this
Akatsuki.
time, it's been, like, hasn't even
Waste of
been...
manpower. I don't know what the Hokage expects from a no-talent like Naruto.
Say another word, and I'll knock you out. And exactly what do you know about Naruto anyway? Sure, Naruto's not the brightest guy. He's clumsy, he goofs off, and he's a bird brain. But no one will surprise you more than him. Every time someone expects him to fail, he proves them wrong. That's who Naruto is knocking.
Whoa.
Teammate, you'll remember that. What the? You're smiling? I'll pummel you.
There's no need for that. Sometimes the knowledge found in books can be fairly useful.
Yeah.
Understanding people's feelings series. When words can mean the opposite of how you feel? Sigh, you mean you...
I understand just how completely you believe in Naruto. And I also know that you will never betray his trust.
Hey, hang on. You tricked me, Sai?
I mean, you were.
It would be a shame if Naruto had to eat all those awful mud balls of yours and didn't get any results out of his training. Don't you agree?
What do you mean by mud balls? I just value their effectiveness over taste. Maybe you should figure out how to talk about your own.
Don't worry, Sakura. Naruto will pull it off.
Oh, Sai.
She's saying the exact same things, and then he's just like, yeah, you know what? You're 100% right. I completely agree with everything you're saying. Naruto's a piece of shit. How dare you call Naruto a piece of shit?
I think it's gonna work this time. Why don't you tell me this? Could you look to the left and the right at the same time?
He's right. That is impossible.
Oh, I see. If you're asking me, yeah, I guess it's doable.
With my Sharingan.
I'm looking to the right while looking to the left. This is what you mean, right?
I get it!
What does he get?
His fucking ears permanently destroyed. What is that sound? What is that sound?
Prepare yourselves.
3 days? Oh man, it's raining where we are.
Edon, shut up.
I was this close to slaughtering those leaf morons, those heathens, the might of the way of Jashin.
The Leaf aren't heathens. They venerate their ancestors and follow the will of fire.
The will of fire.
I could say their motives for fighting are just as valid as yours.
Huh? How dare you?
Did not intend to ridicule the reasons why you do battle. It doesn't matter what you use to justify war. Religion, philosophy, resources, land, revenge, love, even a winning. No matter how trivial the motive, they're all worthy causes for war. There will always be war. The reason can be found later. Human instinct seeks conflict.
Nobody wants to hear your long-winded lecture. Listen, I've got my own way of doing things. I have my own set of goals. I don't intend to devote my all to this organization, all right?
So long as you're affiliated with the Akatsuki, you will contribute to its goals.
You can act all cool if you want, but it won't change the fact that the only thing the Akatsuki wants is to make money. You're the same as Kakuzu.
You're right. Our immediate ambition is indeed financial, but the Akatsuki's true goal lies elsewhere, and it is one that will ultimately cost a great deal of money to fulfill.
After Toby, I'm the second newest
The
member of the team.
goal.
So I haven't heard anything about this true goal from you. You just plan stuff behind my back.
I suppose it's about time I told you. The Akatsuki's ultimate objective will be accomplished in stages. There are 3 steps in total, the first being money. The second is to use that money to assemble the first mercenary shinobi army the world has seen.
Okay.
Come on, that's just like what the shinobi villages are already doing. You complete a mission and you get a payment. What? You want to become the ruler of some tiny village that doesn't have a host nation to support it? How stupid.
You have it backwards.
What?
I'll explain it to you sequentially. For a nation that possesses a powerful ninja village, shinobi business plays a key role in their profit structure. Such villages earn great revenues participating in conflicts both within and beyond their nation's borders. They support that nation's economy, not the other way around. War becomes a necessary evil. However, the current era has seen only smaller conflicts. There are no more great wars like in the past. The 5 great nations are still 5. Those lands and their ninja villages are vast and trusted. They're stable, receiving plenty of missions from other lands. But not so for the smaller nations. If a village downsizes too drastically, it won't be able to protect itself from a sudden conflict. That's where we Akatsuki come in. We will not align ourselves to any nation, and only mobilize the necessary number of shinobi at the appropriate time. Organization that will accept money for contracts of war, from both small nations and ninja villages alike. At first, we'll take on all sorts of conflicts for little, musically cornering the entire war market. Then we will use the tailed beasts to cause new wars altogether, and eventually, we'll gain a complete monopoly. In the wake of this, the ninja villages of the 5 great nations will collapse. We'll have no choice but to use the Akatsuki. Then, and only then, will we achieve our true goal, which lies just ahead. It's the 3rd and final step.
World domination.
That was some shit. Was it not? Was it not
There
some
was
shit?
there was a lot of shit there. We'll discuss it later.
epic commentary.
I see.
Man, what about Kurenai?
Notify everyone else regarding the funeral services. I will inform Kurenai.
No, I'll do it. I'd like to tell her myself. I have a message for her from Captain Asuma.
That's a new sound.
All right. Yeah. I think I'm finally getting the hang of this thing.
It looks fucking deadly. It's like flashing.
I see. So that's what your bright idea was, huh? It took 2 of you to produce the original Rasengan.
You need another one.
To control the chakra emission, the other to control the change in form. Well done.
I realized I was gonna need a second set of hands if I was ever gonna handle the wind change and chakra nature. If I can't look left and right at the same
mean a
time
third?
by myself, then I just needed to create more clones. They can look left and right for me. And then I can divide up the responsibility.
I love this solution because it's like almost
Only Naruto has both the chakra and the skill with shadow clones.
it's just like both the lazy way but also the genius way.
The lazy
Not
way.
like-
The lazy way.
Lazy's not the right word.
The fucking just lazy. Shh.
I'm not sure how to say this, but I think I've really started to take a liking to you, kiddo.
You just cringed away my jutsu.
Blue Sensei, the jutsu I worked on all day got messed up because you freaked me out.
I didn't mean it like that.
Hey, whoa, you stay away.
There aren't words to express how I feel.
I have a message.
Just hold on. Kakashi, We need to call off the training and return immediately.
What?
What's happened?
Yeah.
Asuma Sarutobi. Has been killed.
I fucking love this ending, man.
It's a really good ending.
Finally, a good girl ending. That was a good episode. That was a really good episode.
We got Sai practicing his friendship skills yet again. Actually successful. I like.
He goes very Dr. K from Twitch. He's just like, so you're a worthless waste of space, and nobody loves you. What are we gonna do about that? Well, nothing. Nobody could ever do anything about that because you're just so useless.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't like Sai the entire time, even when he was like on our side last arc, because it just felt like he went back and forth so many times. They used the character of Sai to add something. They like add
Intrigue.
extra intrigue to the plot, but they used his same character and the same, is he good or is he bad?
Yeah.
500 times.
They overload. First of all, that arc had like how many characters? 6 total characters. That entire arc, and they decided to put all of the intrigue. One little piece on Yamato of that he's Orochimaru. We said this already in one of the previous discussions, and then the rest of the entire like intrigue and tension on whether Sai was good or bad. When the whole arc, we were too worried about seeing Sasuke again to really like think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
backfired.
and because he was pretty much just there for us to be interested in whether he was good or bad, you never like, and we didn't get much of his actual personality because he like kind of didn't have a
super developed
Yeah.
personality. Like
So
they
it
were
was
trying
just-
to develop him while simultaneously like using that as a way
keeping
to.
him a mystery and
Yeah.
like you never know who he is.
And again, it would have been fine if the pacing, but
Yeah,
there's
but
no point
anyway,
in dwelling on that. Regardless.
Anyway, but now that he's read some books and he's able to sort of communicate how he feels a bit better in a way that other people can understand, it's definitely easier to see that he is a good person and he's trying, but he's also like not afraid to be a shithead.
He's also a really cute boy.
He is a cute boy.
The fact when he like the first time he comes back, he's like, Sakura, Naruto, would it be okay if I joined your conversation? They're just like, you don't need to ask, man. Like, we're friends. Yeah.
He
really
give the little bat umbrella. He just like puts it on her arm and runs
I love
away.
that shit. That bat umbrella is one of my favorite things.
That's really cool.
It's so fucking cool. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
They it seems like I wonder if Kishimoto changed up the style after the first introduction, because the first time we saw those like tigers or lions or something, those like very Chinese style like lion looking things, and then after that it was all like sort of scratchy black inky things, like something out of just a sketch.
Yeah.
Like before it was like very detailed drawings, and especially like in You Are My Friend opening, and then
since then there's been a lot of like filled in
Yeah.
creatures. Yeah. That's
And
interesting.
I like the new style more.
But maybe it depends on what he
For sure. Yeah, it
what
probably
he's sort of summoning there. If he wants, maybe the more detail he puts in, the more powerful it will be.
That's true. And we did see the bird. Like the bird was in the original style. Anyway, regardless, this episode.
Yeah, and Naruto finally was able to do it by getting yet another shadow clone. I said in the reaction, I said lazy. I guess that's not what I meant. It's just like.
You mean lazy writing?
No, it's like Naruto. I guess it's almost
leaning
like,
into what he knows
Yeah.
rather than trying to because the whole point
Yeah.
is to develop something new, and he's
but
just
instead
doing what
he's
he's
doing the
already
same
doing.
thing, which is like you might be like, oh, Naruto's not really trying, but also he's kind of never been good at like doing stuff. So now that he's finding like an alternate route. It's like how in school they sort of expect everyone to be able to do the same thing by going the exact same way when some people need like a shortcut or a longer way, or
not a shortcut. I think it's just
but their brain takes a different thing that other people might say, oh, that's like you're not fully writing it out and like if you're doing a math problem, it's not necessarily like
that's not the right way to do it.
I'm not saying like a shortcut, but some people might just like their brain might say, oh, this, so then they don't write down every single line of the equation, but they come out with the same result regardless. So then they're seen as like that's the like cheating way to do it, because
that's not proper.
I don't see you doing the work for that thing, even if you are doing the work in a different way.
Well, in real life, it's usually like, oh, you can't do it that way because I know in 2 years when you're applying this to the next level of study, that's not going to work when you're, that you're going to be a million miles behind if you're learning it improperly. It's like if you're, if you first learn to drive and you're like using both feet, and then when you have to like drive the proper way, you have to use 1 foot because it's unsafe to drive with 2 feet. But it's like saying, oh no, you can use 2 feet. We're just practicing. And then eventually you form bad habits and then you can't like learn upon that. But in this is him developing his own thing. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, I that's one of the things that I really identify with Naruto with, is because I have ADD that I didn't like figure out that's what it was until I was like 18. So I would get really frustrated in school because I like my brain just couldn't focus. Like I couldn't force myself to focus on what was going on. So there'd be times where I'd find my way to do things, and they'd be like, no, like you can't do it that way because this or that. And it's just really inspiring to see an anime character have a similar struggle and really like get negative. And he's like, it's just too much for me to do. Like I can't, like it's not even a question of if I'm positive, if I try hard enough, if I work hard enough, it'll happen. It's like I am stretched to my limits doing just this. And but you just got, that's where you need to find a creative solution for it and something that works for you, not just following the playbook of what everyone else had done before. That's where you need to find a way that works for you and not worry about, oh, I need this extra help, I need this aid, I need to work around this thing that other people can just go through, I need to apply this extra effort. It's just what works for you. And it's a really, really, I think, important lesson for kids to learn, because I've always kind of considered myself kind of a smart guy, but when I actually have to apply shit, it never works out that way, and I always have to work way harder than other people because I just can't focus like that. So, it's really good to see that in any show. I think I really find that good. That's why Lee was so inspiring, I think, for the same reason, because he just had to figure out how to make it work for him, despite a literal disability that he has. So, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. We also got the Akatsuki's full plan.
Indeed.
Definitely a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? More, not necessarily more sophisticated, but more, like, kind of practical than I was anticipating.
I mean, sophisticated is the right word.
I guess so. I was anticipating, like, oh, we're doing this to unlock this, like, secret evilness and be evil. It's like, we're just like, yes, first of all, step 1, we're going to do this normal thing. We're going to corner the market, and then we're going to have a monopoly, and then we're going to, we just have it all. And that's way more of a, like, just a realistic kind of practical approach that...
And they really thought it all through because, like Hidon said, they're already doing what you want to do, so how are you going to do it differently? It's like, aha, that's why we have the tailed beast, and that's why, that's why we're collecting money, is so that we can shift the balance of power, essentially, because all the great nations, it's kind of peacetime. There hasn't been a war in a while, in, like, since before Naruto was born, since Tsunade's brother died. That was like the war. And Kakashi, obviously, as a kid. That was, I think... No. Tsunade was a war before that, and then I think Kakashi's war was the one right before Naruto was born. And then, yeah, so it's been that long since a war, which is a pretty long time for people whose entire existence is predicated on war. Even all the good guys who are, like, palling it around that we know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's their plan, is to...
Yeah, which...
So then, like they said, you can think of the small villages as well. Like, if the big villages are, like, you know, they're kind of fine because they have all the missions and protecting the bridge builder and shit, but, like...
But they have to charge a certain amount, regardless whether
and they
it's
just
war
have
or
more
not.
access because they're trusted.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying, like, the small places have to hire from, like, the Leaf Village or whatever, because... And they have to get charged whatever... they get told, basically.
Well, and it's just, like, you could see, that's why kind of brings it back in a weird way. I didn't think about this until just now. The Chunin exams. Like, the representation in the Chunin exams. It's like, that's why no fucking Rain Ninja or, like, Waterfall Village or Mist Village, even. Like, they're like, the smaller of all the great nations. Not even, like, the only people who made it into the finals were Leaf and Sand. Particularly probably because the Leaf and the Cloud don't have the best relationship. But I think there were Cloud Ninja there. Like, they don't... we're in a serious recession when it comes to this shit, and, like, the great nations are the only ones who people trust to have competent shinobi for employ. And, yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. And, yeah, it's just kind of, they're just being so like weirdly smart and practical about it. That
it makes them more scary.
It's kind of like off-putting because I mean the end goal is still world domination, which is just kind of like classic evil villain
sort of
goal. But the way they're going about it is completely not what I was expecting. These guys are way too rational about it,
and
their plan is like. They're so practical about it that I'm like, how can you even fight them on, like, how do you stop this plan? It's not, oh, well, as long as we, like, get the tailed beast back, or if we do this or we do that. Like,
where's the slip up? What room is there
how can they, like, you kill one of them, oh, well, they just get so, you freaking kill Sorcery, oh, well, they just... Oh, Toby, come in here. This'll be fine.
Like, what are the holes in their plan?
Yeah.
Are there holes in their plan? Do you see any holes in their plan?
I mean...
Because they're just doing...
They're just doing something, and they're going so step by step. They're not hinging everything on one thing.
Yeah.
And even if they didn't get all of the tailed... if something happened where they couldn't... get all of them, or they couldn't find one of them, they could still they have so many already at this point.
Yeah.
That they could do what they want, and if their plan is to basically take a hit and sell their protection and labor for very cheap at first. And so people, like, choose them,
get their
and
foot
then
in the door.
they just destroy everything so people have no choice but to choose them, and then...
that wasn't even part of their plan, to destroy...
Well, they said, we'll use the tailed beast to continually cause war, therefore people will need to... The need for us is still going to be there. So, I guess I said destroy everything, but rather than actually destroy everything, they just need to instigate things... a little bit, and they'll be needed, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of interesting, I suppose.
Really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool because, like, again, like Hedon very aptly pointed out, they're just doing what is already being done. It's not like what they're doing is way more evil. Like, that whole speech, the whole thing started out with, like, can you really, like, fault the Leaf Village for fighting the way they do? And the way, that was interesting, I find that interesting about this speech, is how much he's, like, seeing both sides. It's kind of what this guy, whoever he is creepy as shit, because he, like, is seeing both sides of the argument of like the Leaf Village. They remember their ancestors. They follow the will of fire, which is really crazy to hear him like say.
Know about, yeah. Or like respect enough to think of it as valid.
Because that was like the only time we've heard anyone say that was Aruka, who heard that from the third Hokage. Like, yeah. So there, like the way he like talks about the Leaf Village as if he's from our point of view of like these, you know, these people are, they have a very valid reason for fighting. Any reason is valid. And then he goes to like fucking religion, resources, land, anything. Like lists all these things as like a whim, as it's on Datara as well. Yeah. It's like it doesn't matter because war is war and war is suffering, war is shit. So like, you know, whatever your reason is, it doesn't really matter. They're all equally valid. So what's the difference for us and us wanting to start war? Is it really that much different than the Leaf Village or than any other village?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool stuff. I guess that's all I'll say on that. Unless there's anything more you want to say?
I think that's about it.
Really cool. Okay. We did, like, one last thing. We did see Naruto make a breakthrough. Like, that was... We talked about that a little bit, but, like, he didn't just figure it out. We saw him, like, start to put it into practice. So that was cool. Anyway, I guess we'll just move on. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. We're going to move on to the next episode. Like and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon if you just can't wait. If you're already watching on Patreon, thank you very much for your support and your continued support. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.